renowned Oriental dancer, teacher, choreographer, author, and also the creator of the pioneering online platforms Joana Saahirah's World and Joana Saahirah's Online Dance School, delivering authentic Egyptian dance, personal discovery, and empowerment. And in this video, I'm gonna share what I've learned from 2020. Lesson number 1. Nothing is under control, but there's a lot I can control. Ooh, I love it. And it does sound like a contradiction, right? But it's not. So hear me out. We have all experienced a time of uncertainty, of not knowing what the hell is going on and where are we going. At the same time, what I've learned from 2020 is that there's a lot I can control. There's a lot I cannot control, so I'm not going to stress over it, but there's a lot I can control. And that is my attitude towards life, that is the decisions I take on a daily basis, that is my mindset, that is the habits, the routines, the actions that I actually take every single day, the words that I speak, the thoughts that I think, the feelings that I feed in my system. There is a side of reality that we create. This is why we are co-creators. There is another side of reality that is out of our hands. So I've noticed that 2020 was a sharpener, was a clarifier of this notion that 50-50 is the golden equation. There is 50% of life that I can control and 50% that I cannot control. So I'm releasing the control over the things that are not of my dominion, and I am taking power of the things that are in my hands to control and to shape and to create. I am taking responsibility for my own reality, and I'm working with life as it unfolds. Being a co-creator has never been so obvious and so important, and 2020 has reminded me of that. Lesson number 2, valuing the so-called small things. Oh boy, this year has taken away a lot of our freedom, a lot of our luxuries and distractions. It has forced us back into the basics, the essential. And we have realized that we can be happy with less. We realize that we can be happy with buying less, consuming less, traveling less, moving less, doing less. And this for me has been a great takeaway, a great lesson. I am not celebrating the losses, and I am not happy about losing my freedom and having limitations on so many levels and so many dimensions of my life. That's not what I'm doing, but I'm actually enjoying what I have more. So taking a coffee, in a public space, if I can, it's great, Being able to travel, not to a new country, but to a new city that I would have ignored before the pandemic. It's a beautiful thing. Valuing the ability, the possibility of hugging a loved one, something that is not a given anymore. Valuing the fact that everybody that I know and love is healthy and alive, and I know that's not the case for a lot of people, unfortunately, but I can celebrate having my loved ones well, in good health. Valuing the small things is something that I've always done, but nothing like 2020 to pull that ability into new dimensions, new realms. So in this year, I have learned to look at the simple things, the things that I took for granted, as extraordinary things. And baby, it has made my life better. Lesson number 3, being adaptable and resourceful. Oh, let me tell you this, I was already quite adaptable and resourceful before 2020, but this year has brought my resourcefulness and adaptability to a higher realm. Yeah, because I was forced to, like everybody else, right? So when life hits you, and it hits you in a way that is not pleasant, and it leaves you clueless, like what the hell is going on, and when you don't know how to respond, you either block and consider yourself a victim, or you develop your resourcefulness and your adaptability. what is resourcefulness? It's looking at what you have and asking, what can I do with this? As opposed to looking at what you don't have. Oh, life took away this, and it took away that, and it took away that. Yeah, okay. What remains? What do you have? So it's about focusing on what you have and not focusing on what you don't have, because what you don't have is a non-issue. If I don't have it, I cannot use it, so it doesn't interest me. 2020 has taught me how to be even more resourceful. So I look at what I am and what I have right now, and I find creative ways of using it. Yeah? Adaptability is another feature that I have been blessed to practice, also because life has forced me to do it, and 2020 just reinforced it. We have to look at things, with the flow and the ability to change and to go back and to go forward and to redo and to fail and to gain. There is a certain fluidity, adaptability, smoothness, a certain feminine quality of receiving things as they are and managing them and building from them as if they were clay, as if life was clay and you're building new pieces with that clay. There is this ability that 2020 has reinforced enormously, and I believe all of us can gain from it. Being static and being set in stone and being this way or the highway, it's not working anymore, because life is changing every day. News are coming at us every day. Limitations are coming at us every day. Now there is a vaccine, then there is not a vaccine. Now we can go in public, then we cannot go in public. If you're not adaptable, if you don't know how to flow and move like water, you are that fish. I mean, you're gonna have a hard time, harder than it could be. So resourcefulness and adaptability for me have been hugely reinforced this year, and I'm very grateful for it. Lesson number 4, accept loss as a natural part of life. Accept difficulties, challenges, hardship as a natural part of life. Man, 2020 has taught us that, didn't it? It has taught me that for sure. It's not like my life has always been a sea of roses. No, I've faced many challenges and difficulties and losses, just like everybody. But I don't complain, okay? I don't complain because I have a knowledge they are part of life. And 2020 has been a huge reminder of that. So we can either become the victims and cry over spilt milk and get stuck in the things that we have lost, in our sadness, in our pain, or we can accept it as a natural part of this adventure of being alive, and we can use it to build a better life, to become a better person, to learn. So this year has taught me, has forced me to look at my losses as lessons, my losses as opportunities, my losses as guidelines for something that I eventually need to change or reinforce or study or improve. Losses have been teachers during this year for me, and I do believe they can be for you too. It is all a question of perspective. It is all a question of taking power back and saying, I have the power, I have the ability to turn this loss into a gain. And you do have that ability. And I suggest that you look back, you gather your bearings, and you realize how much we can do with so little, how much beauty we can create from ugliness, how much joy we can create from sadness. It is possible, and this year is teaching us that. Lesson number 5, the power of community, the power of standing with each other, even at a distance, the power of connection. During this year at Joana Saahirah's World, I've organized so many events related with Egyptian dance directly and non-related with Egyptian dance directly. Events that gathered people from all over the world, events that brought us together to share our humanity, to share our experiences, to share our view on what's going on, to share how much we're learning to share our life with each other. And I can only speak for myself. It has been very empowering, and it has been a beautiful, beautiful step towards my own humanity. The fact that I understood that although I'm a very independent person, I also need and love to have my community, my family, my friends, my global community, my students nearby, even if virtually. We can support each other, we can be here for each other, we can empower each other, we can bring light into the darkness of another person, and 2020 has shown me that. I hope this video was inspiring to you in any way, shape or form. Share with me your takeaways, your biggest lessons from 2020. Share them in the comments to this video, and make sure you subscribe to my channel. You turn the notifications button on so that you know every time a new video is coming on, and subscribe to Joana Saahirah's World newsletter if you want to be one of our inside community members and receive our gifts, our news, our courses, our inspirations, our beautiful, beautiful flow of love and dance and empowerment. All the information on how to do that in the description box below this video. I love you so much, and I want you to know that the power to make the best out of this year that is now ending and to create the most amazing new year is on our hands, in your hands.